Hey everyone, welcome to HCH Coloring. My name is Heidi, and today we are doing part 6 of my completed pages catch-up, which is all my completed pages that I've done since I've been away, which is since October 2024. And I can't believe I'm already into part 6. It's crazy, where did the time go? And I still have probably another 5 or 6 to go, I'm guessing, before I'm caught up to the present time, which seems a little bit crazy too. So I've got a big stack of books here, and so let's just get going. The first one is A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo, and I did this. So we're into spooky season again. Yay, it's my favorite time of the year to color. And I have a lot of Halloween pages here. So this is the first one. This is cute little, I don't know, just little cute creatures in a pumpkin with some cookies in a cookie jar, it looks like. So this was Crayola Super Tips with pencil on top, and then I did pan pastel for the background, sealed with satin glazing liquid, and I really like that effect that it gives. It's just so, it feels nice, and it's so soft looking and nice. And then I went over the edge. I went around the edge with a black pencil just to sort of make the pumpkin stand out. It seems this page, the center part seems a little pale to me now. Like it could have been a little bit darker, like in the center here. But this is just how I did it, so it's okay. So that was A Million Little Monsters. And then in Midwinter Magic, now we're skipping to, this is from November actually. I did this double page spread, which is unusual for me to do double page spreads, unfortunately, because I am kind of a one page at a time person, although I've tried to change that. It really is just, I'm just kind of stuck. I don't know. We'll talk about that some other time. But so yeah, this double page spread I remember was so much fun to do. It took a little while, and I took my time with it. Actually, when I was doing this one, I was actually working on another page. This was like one of the very rare times when I had 2 pages going at the same time, just because I needed a break from this sometimes. But this is done with a base of watercolors and water-based markers, and then on top is pencil shading and gel pens and paint pens, a lot of different stuff. It's just a lot of mediums, whatever I could find that had the colors I wanted, basically. So I'll just bring it up just a little. Yeah, so that is Midwinter Magic, and this is by Paper Cloth Studio and illustrated by Rebecca Barker. And then the next page is in Malgani by Emma Hollingsworth. This is an Australian First Nations coloring book. It's super awesome, this book. It's like, I'll just give you a little, it's like beautiful abstracts like this that are based on her, you know, line art created from her, that's her, from her original paintings. I guess the cover is a good example of her original paintings. So cool. It's beautiful, just beautiful. So I did this page, The Road from Lockhart to Cardwell, and I absolutely love how this one came out. I love this page. I think this is probably one of my, you know, favorites of all time, just because of the colors. And I just think I love the browns with the purples and the blues and the warm reds, making everything, that part pop out. Yeah. Anyway, so I used Inktense on this for basing, and I think watercolor too. Probably water-based markers, and then over the top is pencil. Oh, I remember I used jelly gouache. Yeah, I can see, like here on these purple dots here, I used jelly gouache. And then paint pens for accents and outlining, going over some of the lines. And yeah, other gel pens and stuff. But yeah, so really pleased with that one. That was in Mulgani. And then the next one is Dream Coloring for Kids, and this is illustrated by Anastasia Chikova. And this is back to October, so I did this for Halloween or for spooky season. Yeah, and I love this one too. I like the colors, and it's just so fun and cute. I don't actually remember what I didn't look at my list to remind myself. I think it might have been Inktense as a base, at least like on the house and the outside here, I think. I don't remember. It could have been water-based markers, watercolor. That's generally what I do. And then I went over the top with pencil. And maybe a little white. I don't really see any white Posca here. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, so that was in Dream Coloring for Kids. And then in Pop Manga Cute and Creepy by Camilla D'Errico, I did this cute little spider page. And this was a pretty simple, fast page. I just did the little spider in watercolor base, and then went over it with pencil to deepen up the shadows, add a little more color. And then I did this kind of like halo around it with kind of browns and oranges, just to add a little bit more color to the page. But I didn't want to do the whole background, you know. I wanted to make the the spider web a feature, so I added some, I think it was, what do you call those? Sparkle Pop. I added some silver gel pen to all the spider webs, and I think that looks cool. Yeah, and when I colored his eyes a little bit, kind of orangey yellow to match this background. Yeah, so that was Cute and Creepy by Camilla D'Errico. And then in the Spooky Coloring Book by Sarah, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, Zuzik, I don't know. I did this page, which it sort of seemed to me like a summary page, even though it's clearly Halloween. So I just did it in kind of pale summery colors, And I remember the background was watercolor, and I deliberately tried out that kind of textured look with just by like dabbing around with the brush. And I think, did it go through? It did go through a tiny bit, but these are essentially one-sided, so it's okay. And then the rest of it was colored pencil. I remember that I had just gotten this set of Morandi colored pencils. It's kind of a no-name brand. It does have a name, but it's, you know, not anything you'd recognize. But they're really pretty pencils. Maybe I'll show that in another video sometime. But they're very, I don't know, Morandi, like a little bit more desaturated, and I wouldn't say dull, but just more subdued colors, I guess. So that's what I used on that. And then I actually did at the same time, I did that little cute raven on the broomstick, and then I did these little cute guys here. The Baba Yaga hut, the little bats, and the pumpkin and the frog. And then in the back, I just did this cute little guy. So look at him, he's so cute. Yeah, so that was in Spooky by Sarah. And then Beauty of Horror, Tricks and Treats by Ellen Robert. This is one that I try to do a page in every Halloween season. And I don't always get to it, but I try to, and it's fun. I like them. I did this creepy guy in 2024. It's a base of alcohol markers, I think for maybe everything except for the skin. And I did that with pencils. And then I went over the top of everything with pencils to, you know, do the shading and stuff. And then I remember I did use chalk pencil in the sky just to lighten it up a little bit there. But yeah, I like that pretty well. That was the Beauty of Horror, Tricks and Treats. And this next one isn't anything huge. It's just the little intro page here. And then, yeah, this one I did because I was kind of playing around with Gansey Tambi Opal colors, which I had just gotten. So if I hope I can show that. There's that sheen on the moon. Yeah, those are beautiful paints. I actually really love them. I use them pretty much anytime I have a moon or something like that to color. The rest of this page is just colored pencils, and maybe a little bit of glittery gel pen or something. So that was Midnight Masquerade. And then this one is also a really just simple, quick one. Matchstick Mouse Halloween by Morgan O'Brien. And I just did this page, cover page. Oh, I think I forgot. Well, the highlights don't look the same. I was kind of copying it a little bit. And this is just alcohol marker, pencil on top for some shading, some white Posca for the highlights, and then some glitter gel pens for the stars. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. So that was fun, cute, quick, and fun. Matchstick Mouse Halloween. And then, whoops, keep hitting the damn clamp stand thing, whatever it is called. So this is Wee Wickeds by Carla Magana, and I also try to do a page in here every Halloween, at least one page. So this time I did this cute kitty on the pumpkin with the moon, and I definitely used the Gansai Tambi opal colors on this moon. It looks so much better in real life, like under a light, better light, but it's really beautiful, like that shimmer and shine. The background, I think I drew in a frame around it, and then I used alcohol markers and to base everything else. And I think I based the moon too, yeah. Pretty much everything. And then I went over it with pencil. And I've got some gold paint pen here I can see. But yeah, just a kind of another quick one. But I like it. I like the teal with the orange and gray and yellow. That's pretty. So that was in Wee Wickeds by Carla Magana. And then in Autumn Charm by Teresa Goodrich, I did, this is also November, I did the Thanksgiving page. I was really in the mood for, like, I think it was like in the days coming up to Thanksgiving, I was really excited about it this year, and I was like, I'm gonna color a Thanksgiving page, why not? Sorry about that gate slamming. Somebody in our building slammed it. Yeah, so this page is alcohol markers and pencil on top, and I don't know what I used for this yellow background here. Hold on, see if I can figure that out. Maybe it's just pencil. I can't, it's not alcohol markers. But yeah, anyway, and some white Posca for the accents. Yeah, I like that one. That was in Autumn Charm by Teresa Goodrich. And then back to October again, we have Greatest Hits, Jade Summer Greatest Hits, 100 Best Coloring Pages. And in this one, I did this one from Cute Witches. And this is an alcohol marker base on everything, except maybe her skin. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, alcohol marker base, some pencil on top, and then probably sparkly stuff on the little, I don't think you're gonna be able to see that. But yeah, I kind of like the orangey, creepy sky. I wanted to do something different, something other than just, you know, dark blue, purple. And I think that worked out. It looks kind of nice with the yellow and the orange. Yeah. So that was in Jade Summer's Greatest Hits, 100 Best Coloring Pages. And then we have a page in Mystical World by Coco Wyo. This is another Amazon printed book. And I did this one. This was fun. This was, you know, just like simple, relaxing. This book is really good for that. It's got, I don't know if they still, if this is still available. A lot of the older Coco Wyo books are not available anymore, unfortunately. Such a shame, but they're like that. So it was just alcohol markers, pencil, paint pens for accents. I put stickles on the stars, and that yellow star there. And then I did the background. I think it was a Sharpie, like a black Sharpie, but it was kind of running out, and so it was a little streaky or something. So I put dragonfly glaze over the top, and it disguises it really well. And it has that beautiful sheen. I love that. I think it was the violet, red, blue, or whatever it is, that dragonfly glaze. That was in Mystical World by Coco Wyo. And then I've got a page in Coloring Heaven's Halloween Special. This is issue 66, so this is an old one. But this is one that I have colored in quite a bit. I did this page, I think, oh yeah, the year before I did, where is it? I did this one, which I loved so much. So I did this one this time. Isabel by Dawn Davidson. And I kind of chose this one because this is kind of how I used to look as a child. Not that pretty, probably, but I had that same kind of haircut in the 70s. My mom gave me that, like, I don't know what you call it. It's not a bowl haircut, but like pixie maybe. But yeah, it looked a lot like that. So I was like, okay. And I used to love to wear pink. And I remember in first grade, my nickname was Pinky Tuscadero, which really ages me because, you know, that was when we were watching it on TV. Pinky Tuscadero, if you don't know, is Fonzie's girlfriend on All in the Family. So this was back in the 70s. Yeah. So it's a fun little tidbit there. But yeah, this page was alcohol markers as a base and pencil on top. And then I used some, I think it was paint marker, probably the Artex paint marker for some of these highlights because it has a little bit more of a subtle effect. Either that or possibly a chalk pencil. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that came out. I like her violet eyes. I don't have violet eyes. So that was in the Halloween Special issue 66. And then I did a page in Enchanted Halloween by Hannah Lynn. Oops. And I did this page. This isn't my favorite page ever. I probably could have done more work to make it better, but I didn't at the time. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it or something. I'm not crazy about how the tree limbs are just kind of like all one color. There isn't much variation there, which isn't the best. But, you know, it's still cute. So it's alcohol markers, pencils for shading, as usual, some white Posca, and I think the moon there is another case where I used the Gansai Tambi opal colors. It doesn't look as good as it does in person. But anyway, that is my page in Enchanted Halloween. And then this one is in Techlations by John Wick. And this was the one that I worked on at the same time as that double page spread in Midwinter Magic. It was like, I was thinking, you know, I need something completely different to work on. So I picked a pattern page. But the way I did this one was a little different and kind of more creative and fun. I wanted a different way of doing it other than just like filling in the spaces with alcohol markers, which is my usual. So I based it with Distress Inks laid down with one of those big makeup brushes, you know, and it was yellows. You can see, if you look in the background, you can see the variation of color, yellows and greens and blues. And I just kind of did that randomly all over the page. And then I went in with pencil to do, you know, some of these areas, just sort of like based on what color was in that area. Oh, all these little purple ones are the Gansai Tambi granulating watercolors. And then I've got some paint pen on there, these darker teal dots, and the pink, the hot pink are paint pen. And yeah, I just kind of chipped away at it while I was working on that other page, the double page spread, and just kind of, you know, it was relaxing. That is what makes me want to be able to work on more than one page at a time, is that I feel like it's nice to be able to just chip away at a page a little bit at a time and slow down a little bit, but it is so hard for me to do that. So I'm trying. I kind of want to move myself into that if I can at some point. We'll see. So that was Techulations by John Wick. And then I have a page in 50 Halloween Mandalas by Camelia Angelkova. I did this page here. And this one was, I feel like if I leave it down here, it's too small to see, but maybe that's not the case. This was alcohol markers as a base, and then pencils and probably fine liners and some white Posca or some gel pen or something. But yeah, it's cute. It's really cute. All these different, it's really fun doing these mandalas with all these different like little Halloween motifs. Thought that came out pretty nice. That's 50 Halloween Mandalas by Camelia Angelkova. And then I have one in 50 Halloween Miniatures by Camelia Angelkova. And I just did this cute little bear in the devil suit. Or maybe it's a dog, I don't know. Looks like a bear. Yeah, so this is alcohol markers as a base again, and pencil on top, and some sparkly something on the just gel pen, sparkly gel pen on the stars there. But I thought that came out pretty cute. In 50 Halloween Miniatures. And then in Halloween Horror, this is a Color by Number by Color Questopia. I did a couple different ones, and this is another Halloween one that I try to do at least one in every year. So last year, oh, not that one. Oh, I have a few. That was my first one. I did that page. What was the one? This one was the one from last year. Or was it not last year? 2023. October 2023. So this is the one for 2024. I have no idea what's going on here. She's holding these little cubes in her hand, and I didn't know what the heck was going on with that, so I just made them into dice, which, I don't know, gambling, vice, you know, scary guys, skulls. Maybe that's the theme. But it was actually a lot of fun to do. These are, the backgrounds are, you know, these mosaic kind of areas are white, so you have to go in with a black pen or like a sparkly gel pen or something and fill in all those spaces, and I find that to be really meditative. But the background or the basing was alcohol markers, and then I went in with pencils for the shading and white something or other for the little accents all over. And I think I used my own colors. I don't remember, but sometimes I follow the suggested colors, and sometimes I just go for what I think things should look like. Maybe I follow them. I don't know. And then I did another page in here. I'm not sure why I chose this, because I had just done that other one that's very similar, but I did the skeleton and flowers. And this one there's not as much going on, not as much shading. It's mostly just alcohol markers and a little bit of pencil shading and some white accents. And I always use a Pilot G2 black pen to do the filling in of these little lines in the background. That was in Halloween Horror by Color Questopia. And then just a few more books. In 50 Animal Mandalas by such and such Deva, I did... Come on. I did this page because spooky season is also spider season. And but I didn't want to make it spooky. I just wanted to make it normal. So I remember I just did this color palette on my own. I didn't follow the suggested colors because my experience with the suggested colors in this book is that they're sort of strange and arbitrary and don't really look that good together necessarily. So I chose these warm colors, which I think came out pretty nice. So it's just alcohol marker base with pencil on top and some white paint marker, I think, for the, I don't know if that's any better or not. Yeah, so that was in 50 Animal Mandalas by such and such Deva. And then in Be Calm in Color by Angela Porter, I did this page here. This is just, really simple, relaxing one. And this was colored with that same pencil set that I was talking about earlier, the Morandi set. So, yeah, I like it. Pretty much everything you color, you can use any of the pencils in that set and it'll look good together. Yeah. That was in Be Calm in Color by Angela Porter. And then I have Kaleidoscope Designs by Martha Day Shark. This is a Peter Piper Press book. And I did this page. These are single-sided. This one is like pattern pages like this. Pretty intricate. But it's right up my alley sometimes. So, I like the mandala itself. I was going for, really bright rainbow colors. The background, I think if I could go back and change what I did, I would. I used a black alcohol marker to fill that in, and then I went over it with the black flash paint. I don't know if it's folk art. I think maybe it's folk art. but it looks more brown to me. I mean, it's pretty. It's really pretty, but I don't know if it goes with these colors necessarily. So I'm, you know, less than happy about that result. I guess it's sort of gold, so maybe it's all right. I mean, I'm not gonna go back and change it now. So yeah, that was in Kaleidoscope Designs by Martha Day Shock. And then the last one is in 50 Stylish Mandalas by Camelia Angelkova. Another mandala, just simple. And I did this one. This was with alcohol markers, and I don't even think I used anything else. It was just plain alcohol markers here. And this one did yellow the back, which is a real bummer. But I can fix it if I just use, you know, warm tone colors on this page. It should be fine. So yeah, that's it. That is the last one. And thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give me a comment or a like. Let me know what you thought or what was your favorite. I like to get feedback on these. It lets me know that you guys like what you're seeing. So if you do, let me know. Yeah, so I hope you're enjoying your coloring this week, this month, whatever. And I'll be back for another one. Let's see, this is 6, part 7. My gosh. Yeah, so see you in the next one. Bye.